Hey guys, Melissa here and welcome back to my channel. So today I have my December hip kit layout share and color kit. So it's taken a while, but I'm happy with what I've made. This was a different kit. It wasn't, well, it was based on the Create Paper Snowflake collection, which if I show you this, is a more sort of creamy, muted collection, I guess. Yeah, it took me a bit to get into it, but then I really found my way with it, and I'm really happy with what I created. So I'll just quickly show you what I've got left. This is all I have left of the papers. So yeah, I better tell you that I get the, sorry, I'm so weird, the window's open and everything is blowing. I get the main kit, the embellishment kit, and this one I also got the what's it called? Colour kit. So that's normally what I get. Oh, and I got the paper add-on. Normally I get the main kit, the paper add-on, and then often I get the embellishment kit. If I don't get the embellishment kit, I will get the Project Life kit. And if I like the look of the colour kit, I'll get that as well. So yeah, this is the paper. I think it was the paper add-on came with the speciality paper, but the main kit didn't, or it was the other way. No, it must have been that way. That's quite unusual for hip kit. It's not that often that you'd get a separate paper that's not in the main kit, but I guess it's an incentive to buy the paper add-on. You've probably heard me say it before, but I get the paper add-on because I love using pattern paper as background as well, and sometimes if you just get the main kit, it's really hard to sacrifice or make a decision on what side of the paper. So this one is a cut apart and I've used it a lot. So that's from the Snowflake collection. There was also some Heidi Swapp Honey and Spice in there and some Pretty Little Studio, so I'll show you all of that. So that's the paper. And then I'll bring the chipboard back. I struggle with chipboard. I love it, but I think I've done a really good job. I've probably used 3/4 of this, so this will go into my stash and I will use it up for sure. The thickers, I love these. I love both actually, and I think I've done a pretty good job at using them. I used the month before's thickers as well, so that might be why I didn't use as many. And I also used these, what are they, thickers, foil, accent and phrase stickers. They're from Snowflake. So I mean, I've done a really good job at killing that, and these will definitely get used up. This was a pack of crystals from Prima. They're absolutely beautiful. You'll see them in my layouts very soon. From the colour kit was an exclusive stencil with stars on it and 3 of the Lindy's Stamp Gang Magicals, which I love, and I'm loving adding to my collection of those. Vellum stars, I did not use up as many as I wanted to, and I may even keep this together because I could probably get one more layout. I think I might have to, because I've got to get some of them used up. And the other reason I wanted to keep it was because of these frames. Yeah, I didn't use as many as I'd hoped. I struggle with frames, especially the thin kind of cardstock ones, so I could probably do some kind of grid layout with them. I don't know, we'll see. I may just put them into my stash. But tag left, that's part of the cut apart. Another frame, and then the rest of this, aside from the flare, is ephemera. There was a floral ephemera pack, which I think I've used everything up, and the rest of these, that's a piece of paper, are just the exclusive ephemera pack. I mean, I've even put a little floral on the cat, so maybe I should be trying to use them. I don't know. Some of them I won't use, like 'Tis the Season to Be Freezing. I don't know. We'll see what resolution. And there was one with the bottle of wine, and I don't know, I just probably wouldn't put them on a layout. But we'll see. I'll put them in my stash anyway, and you never know, you may see these being used again. So that is what's left of the kit. Okay, so I only made 12 by 12 layouts. I didn't make any Traveler's Notebook layouts with this one. Sorry, I'm just having my coffee at the same time. So this is actually the most recent layout that I've made, and I've been reorganising my craft space, and I found these older photos that I printed in 2012, and they're of Sam and I in 2012 doing school skiing. And on my Instagram I said, who can remember those Instagram filters we used to put with the frames, and quite a grungy filter compared to what we do now, but I still wanted to scrap this memory because it was important. It was his first time skiing and I was parent help, and it was a great day. And yeah, I just used what was left of the fussy cut stars and snowflakes. That's from the chipboard. So are these stars. That ski report card is one of the cut aparts. That's one of the thicker titles, and those are the gems that I was talking about. So I really just used what I had left. This was the last full sheet of paper, which is that cut apart one, and I had this vision of like the stars being held together, so I lifted this paper, distressed it and bent it, and had them falling out over a winter photo. So that's that one. This one I made for Multi Photo Monday, and it's kind of similar to the other one, except I put the stars or snowflakes at the bottom, and then we had a mood board to play with, and the colours were perfect for this kit. This is Azaria from last year skiing with me. I snowboard, she skis. I just took some photos up there, up Coronet Peak, and I used this tissue paper to soften the edge of the torn paper, put a few winter kind of icons, some of these snowflakes, put my journaling on this tag, and use the Lindy's in the background. This paper is a Heidi Swapp one, and it's embossed, so that is that one. There's a process video for that one. This one, I had cut this butterfly from Paige Evans years ago from her Happy Scrappy Place, and I just had it sitting around, and maybe it was even last year that I cut it. Anyway, feels like years ago. And I had told Brielle that I'd use it on her layout, of course, because she loves butterflies and wants all the butterfly things. So I backed it with that Heidi Swapp paper and a pretty little studio paper. That's only one paper there, the wings. And I love that because it meant I didn't have to back all of this. That's some glitter powell from my stash, and then I just clustered a few things around the photo of her. Azaria had done her makeup, and she dressed up like a fashionista, I guess. And then I added some gems, and I added some Nouveau drops, and also some Heidi Swapp Colour Shine. So that is that one. This one, I was also wanting to use things up. I'd made this background just for fun. There was no layout in mind. I just used things from the kit. So that's the Lindy's, the blue one, painted on with a foam brush. And then I put the pink one with some texture paste and put it through a stencil. And surprisingly, and I suppose it's not surprisingly, but it loses its sheen when you mix it with white texture paste. And I put some Heidi Swapp Colour Shine in gold, and then just did some clustering in my grids. And it's just documenting same ski field. There's an ice bar, so it's like a bar serving alcohol, and it's outside, and there was this gondola thing, old thing that you could sit on, and we just went and had a photo in there. So yeah, that's that one. This one was an exclusive cut file to the kit, and I love it. It's made by Annette Glessner, and it's kind of Christmassy, and so I went with this photo of Azaria at our carol service at church. I misted the background with some, Delusion spray in white, and I love how it turned out. I actually copied my friend Lara, who is Scrappy Care here on YouTube. She'd done that, and I saw her do it, and so I had to copy her. Yeah, and then I backed this cut file with just some kind of neutral tones. I really went for the pinky tones in all these layouts, you'll probably notice. And then used some of the florals, used a couple of chipboard, and called it Season of Joy, or Joy, whichever. That's a piece of ribbon just from my stash. I think someone gave me something and that ribbon was on it, so yeah, I'm going to bend that up. That's that one. I love how that one turned out. Oh, I forgot to say, did my journaling in silver and outlined it in silver too. Outlining is something that I should do more, and I always forget. So this one is another cut file by Annette, and I wanted to do a Frozen layout because we'd just seen Frozen 2 on Christmas Eve actually, and it was Ava's first ever movie, so this will go into her album, and I just talk about her and how she was in the movie, how she was quite distracted and excited, but it was really fun. So I've also misted that cut file with Heidi Swap Colour Shine and Gold, overlifted the edges. You probably can't really tell, there's a bit of dimension. Made my photo black and white because the colour of the photo, it's really like red velvet kind of. It's a movie theatre which is made to look, I don't know what the term would be, kind of old, elegant. It's really lovely, but the colours in the photo were just way too much. So yeah, it's made it black and white. And then I've just called it Frozen to Joy, and then just done a few embellishments. That's that one. This one was for the telephone hop round 4. I think I was number 3, and Ava just came in, so that's why I stopped this. So I can't remember who I lifted, but I didn't do nearly as much embellishment as she did. I kept it quite simple. I fussy cut this out of the floral wreath, which should be in this pile. Yeah, you'll see it soon. Yeah, and because I obviously had 2 sheets of it, and that's a really great way to use a wreath if you don't want to use it as a background paper, use it as embellishment. And that's just an Instagram filter on Ava and Brielle. There's a process video for that one.
Ava?
Yes, Ava. This one is featuring lots of fussy cut snowflakes from the snowflake paper, and I wanted to use a dark background because I'd seen Sophie, who was so scrappy. She did that. She's on the Hip Kit design team, and her work is amazing. And so I was quite inspired by her. This is a photo of Brielle and her best friend Rosie, and I used some tissue paper to soften it, and then sort of just, I had this vision of these 2 kind of corner clusters, and then this. So that's them at the disco.
Ava?
Yeah, Ava was there too, but not in the photo. So this one is documenting a snow day, and that's Brielle. It was in 2018. So
Ava!
yes, Ava there. So this one I've used a crepe paper frame that didn't come from the kit, but that's okay. I like to mix my own stuff in as well.
Where's Ava?
There's Ava. And so this one also, this is a negative of one of the cut files with the snowflake. So I wanted to use that, and then I've just backed it with that Heidi Swap paper. I've stamped some lines on there with a stamp, and then just put lots of embellishment around my 2 photos. So that's that one. Actually, this is the positive cut file. This is one of the first layouts I made, and this is Ava in the snow. So first snow, all my kids have a first snow photo because we live in a place in New Zealand where it snows in winter, so that's a really cute one. I love how this one turned out. Pretty little studio background. I just love that paper so much, and that is the B side of it. This is a boy one, so this is for Sam, documenting him turning 12. Yeah, I used a balloon cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict, and this is for Christy's Beautiful Life ABC Scrappy Challenge. B was for boys, balloons and butterflies, so it was about using like balloons and butterflies. You may not normally use them on a boy layout, but you totally can. So yeah, that's this one. I've used a frame, hooray, 2 frames even. So that's that one. And this one I lifted myself really. I had done that layout with Ava and with me cuddling her, and I think I showed it to you last layout share. But with this one I've used the wreath, and then I've just tried to keep the main focus of the wreath and just add a little bit more to it. So just 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of cluster areas. My photo is Brielle at Mainly Music as an angel, and that's something I do with my girls when they, before they go to school, they go to Mainly Music. It's like a preschool thing, and so it's lovely and lots of fun. Sorry, I'm just bending these up because I noticed I've got them flat. And so yeah, I've just called it Love This Sweet Moment. Those are the thickest from last month's kit that work perfectly with this kit as well. And so that is that one. So yeah, that's what I made. I hope you enjoyed it. I've already started working with my January hip kit, and my February hip kit arrived yesterday. So I definitely need to get going. Hoping that now that my crafty space is rearranged and a lot better than it was, that I've got more mojo. And I will, I think I said in my last video that I'll do a tour of my craft space when it's finished. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll be back again soon.